I think one of the worst kept secrets of our channel is that we love Courage the Cowardly Dog. Well, that and our low subscriber count. Subscribe to the channel for quality content. While we're making videos about the worst episodes of shows, looking at old video games, or whatever we decide to do on a whim, we always find a way to make a video about Courage. I even had to stop myself from making another Courage video for Halloween. Another one. But for this one, I said screw it. I want to do more videos about great endings to cartoons, and if I didn't do one for Courage the Cowardly Dog ASAPly, I would never forgive myself. And to put it simply, Courage might have one of the best send-offs to any cartoon I've ever seen. So it's time to look at the last and two of the most memorable episodes of Courage, Remembrance of Courage Past and Perfect. And yes, I'm doing the last two episodes because they were bundled together as one, and they work extremely well as the last episode to Courage. Plus, it's my channel. I love you, the viewer, but screw you, I do what I want. Alright, let's get into how to end a cartoon with Courage the Cowardly Dog. Starting off with Remembrance of Courage Past, we finally get some backstory for Courage and how he ended up with the bags. Throughout the entire show, Courage meets many people and helps just as many along the way. And while we're on this ride, we learn so much about some of these characters. Even the computer gets a deep dive into his character and what makes him tick after all those years. People tend to open up to Courage because Courage is such a good-natured dude/dog. He almost never judges and tends to help first and ask questions later. It's why things tend to work out for him. But we never really get a deeper look into Courage. He doesn't talk about himself and no one bothers to ask. We don't even know why he goes to such great lengths to save his family, past a love for them. I mean, love can go a long way, but have you seen the things Courage goes through? He'll even save Eustace, who really doesn't deserve a second thought. But finally, we get an explanation in this episode. It starts off with Courage seeing a milk carton with a picture of missing dogs. This leaves Courage in a catatonic state as it dredges up an awful memory. A memory that is told throughout the episode, but I'll talk about it in one unbroken chunk. Courage had two loving parents, and one day, those loving parents took him into the vet because his head was stuck in a fence. Don't know if the vet would be the first option, but I guess it's since they're animals, vets are like miracle workers. Anyway, the vet goes all evil mode almost immediately and takes Courage's parents so that he can send them into space for his evil plan. A plan which doesn't really make sense. I don't understand how breeding dogs in space will make them stronger. Wouldn't the lack of gravity make their bones less dense, i.e. weaker? We see Courage's parents at the end, and I don't see any strong dogs. Anyway, Courage does all he can to save his parents, but he ultimately fails and has to somberly watch his parents disappear from his life. Forever. After this, Muriel finds him abandoned and takes him home, calling him Courage. You know, this flashback is extremely heart-wrenching, and if you didn't root for him before, you definitely would now. We finally know why he tries so hard to save the ones he loves. He doesn't want to fail again and experience the trauma he was exposed to at such a young age. So no matter how hard it gets, Courage will never stop trying. Even after the show's over, he'll never stop protecting the bags. There's nothing that'll really change that. That's kind of all I wanted to talk about for this episode, but I'll finish the description. The flashback left Courage catatonic, causing Muriel and Eustace to take him to the very same evil vet. Obviously, they don't know he's evil, but I mean, look at him. He's honestly kind of terrifying if you really look at him. So the vet tries to take Courage now. Muriel and Eustace confront the vet and get captured too, and Courage stunts on the vet and forces him into the ship, leaving him, presumably murdered by the dogs he sent to space previously. Alright, now that's out of the way, let's look at Perfect. This one's a simpler episode from the last. Courage constantly messes up different tasks throughout the day and starts to get really down on himself. He becomes anxious and quite sad about not being perfect, and it manifests itself into an old school teacher who attempts to teach him to be perfect. Now, I'm not sure whether she's a spirit or even real because Muriel can't see her, but the teacher says that Dai Lung was her student, and I don't know what's going on. What matters is that the teacher goes ham trying to make Courage perfect, representing the lengths we as viewers, and Courage, our valiant protagonist, go to fix our supposed flaws, and it leaves Courage even more of an anxious mess as he keeps failing the lessons. He ends up having trouble sleeping due to the nightmares, also stemming from his desire to be perfect, and his sadness from not being perfect. This leads up to one of the most iconic monsters in the show next to King Ramses and the Violin Girl. The wiki says it's a bugle monster based on Eustace having a broken bugle in the episode. I can kinda see it, but I don't know. It's creepy nonetheless. We all know about this one, but have you seen the pictures in the picture dream? That stuff is pretty unnerving. Look at it. I'll put it on the screen. Viewer discretion advised, I guess. Pretty creepy, right? After this hellish landscape, Courage goes to the bathroom after more perfect class, and a fish in the bathtub gives him some encouraging words. I'm assuming the fish is Courage's brain fighting back and helping him out, but this is Courage the cowardly dog, so anything is possible. Word for word, the fish says, "There is no such thing as perfect. You're beautiful as you are, Courage. With all of your imperfections, you can do anything." This gets hammered in even more thanks to Eustace and Muriel, and it reassures Courage. Going back to class, he has to draw a perfect 6 as his final test, and to his credit, he draws a dope-ass 6. Of course, this isn't good enough for the teacher, and she melts. Courage, now assured of himself, eats dinner with his family, and the show ends for the last time. Throughout the show, we see Courage go through hell and back largely unscathed, making him seem almost perfect at times, despite how scared he gets. But the fact of the matter is that Courage isn't perfect, but he's still capable of amazing things. He has his flaws and self-doubts, but he still pushes through and accomplishes wondrous things despite the clear states of dread. We're talking the stuff of legends. By showing Courage at his most vulnerable, we truly learn why he's so special. And that's the big takeaway from this episode, Remembrance, and the show in general. You can do things you can't possibly imagine. You don't have to be perfect to do it. All you have to do is push yourself and face your fears. Because if Courage can do it, so can you. And hey, everyone has their own flaws, but it's what you do about them that makes you special. And that's a beautiful note for the show to leave us on. And that's about it for this video. What did you think? Was this a good send-off to the show? Let us know in the comments below, because I do read them all. And I know I said in the start, but if you enjoyed the video, make sure you like and subscribe, because it does help out a lot. And before you go challenging your worst enemies to dodgeball, have a good day.